Bring your hands to your heart. Notice the rhythm of your heartbeat. And notice the rhythm of your breath. Notice on the inhale how your chest lifts upwards, and on the exhale how it softens downwards. We'll play with that a little bit. So as you inhale, lengthening through the spine as your sternum lifts. And as you exhale, softening through the chest, bringing your chin towards your chest. Again, opening, lengthening. Press your feet down into the floor as you lift your chest up to the sky. And really exhale all the air out as you bring your arms down. As you inhale, rotate the arms out, open chest. And as you exhale, rotate the arms in, opening in between the shoulder blades. And outward rotation to lift and open, lengthen through the spine. Inward rotation, softening through the chest. One more time. Open, this time lift your arms all the way up above your head. Clasp your hands and reach your hands up to the sky. Bring your hands down and place them on your sacrum. Support with your hands. Lengthen through your spine to arch back, and then bring your chin towards your chest. Feel your stomach lifting, and just allow your arms to drop and release, and describe small circles. Feel how it starts, the movement initiates from the shoulder blade, from the scapula. And change the direction of the circle. Keeps going by itself. And keep going down, just allowing the arms to hang and describe small circles until they touch the floor. Bend one knee and then bend the other knee. Just play with the hips, one side to another. Rolling all the way back up. Reach your arms up. And grab your left wrist with your right hand and open the left side of your body as you stretch to the side. And changing. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Opening the right side of the ribs. One more time, reaching up as if someone's pulling your hand. You're going to turn towards the right armpit, looking behind you. And then coming back, reach your hips a little bit more to the left and coming back into the other side. First lengthen and open. And then turn your head towards your left armpit. As you come back, take your hips a little bit further to the right. Coming back to center. Release over. Really allow the weight of your arms and the weight of your head to relax towards the floor. Bending your left knee, left fingertips on the floor, reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. And release back down and change. Right fingertips down, right knee bent. Left fingertips stretch up to the ceiling and back down. Take that one more time. Reach the top of your head forwards. And then rotate and bring the back of your hand towards your back. Slide it in towards your opposite thigh. And release down into the other side. Stretching it up, lengthening before you rotate. Place your arm behind your back towards your back thigh. Open the chest. Relax back down, and we're going to walk your hands and feet so that you're in a V up, inverted V position. And also here we're going to bend one knee and then the other knee, and again allowing the hips to play from side to side. Stretching back and bringing your knees to the floor. Keeping your torso parallel to the floor, I'm going to circle around, playing with the range of motion, seeing what feels comfortable for your wrist joint. And circling in the other direction, keeping the spine long as it circles around. Tuck your toes and sending your sits bones high. And then walking feet forwards to the front of the mat. Relax your head down, lifting through the center to roll all the way back up to standing. And turning the feet out, heels together. The arms are going to lift up to a high V, stretching through the tips of your fingers as you lift your heels up. You're bringing the heels towards one another as they reach down towards the floor. It drops down, arms hang heavy till they touch the floor, and then bending the left and then the right knee. And then again the hips play from side to side. Feel how that affects the rest of your spine. Bending both knees and rolling up one vertebra after another. Again, opening your chest, lifting your arms up to a high V, finding the balance. Putting your heels down, opening your legs to a wider position. And again, reaching the arms up to a high V, finds the balance like a huge star. The arms release, the head releases, rolling all the way down vertebra after vertebra. Again, we're going to play with the hips, bending your left knee, taking your hips to the left and then to the right. And play with that. Find what feels nice for your body here. Parallel your feet, rolling all the way up to a long spine. Support your back with your hands. Soften the knees as you circle the hips in one direction. Playing with how big or small you want to make the circles. Whatever feels right for your back. Feel the breath flowing in and out. Bring your hands to your center. We're going to start rotating the torso. Feel that the rotation comes from somewhere deep inside your center. Hands are describing an X from the ribs on one side to the opposite side of your hips. And initiating the rotation from the same place, just allow your arms to release. The swinging of the arms is an expression of what's going on deep in your center. And walking the feet in towards each other as the movement gradually dies down. Bringing your feet to parallel. Coming to stillness. Find balance on your right leg and rotate the left foot. In the other direction, keep lengthening up through the top of your head. Place the left foot down, find the balance as you lift the right foot up, rotating from the ankle. We're going to play with where our front is, so opening and bring the foot back, looking forward, opening to the right, everything opens, the gaze goes to the right, and coming back, finding balance, opening the arms and the knee, have a new front, coming back, and lifting the right knee, opening to the right, opening the arms, opening the knee, finding balance, and coming back. We're going to continue. This time we're going to lunge, coming back to find balance, and down, and to the right, opening, lunging down, and down. And again, this time we're going to play with a turn in and out, internal and external rotation. It's the left leg, finding balance, coming back, other side, opening, turn out, and turning in, and turning out, and in one last time, out to come back to center, and lift last time, adding the arms, same arms as we had before, and rotate. Finding the balance, and last one to the right, open, and rotate in, and out, and in, out last time, finding the balance, and bringing the foot down. Dropping your head down, hands reach toward the floor, walk your legs back a bit wider than hip width. I'm going to circle the hips round in a big generous circle. So as the hips drop down, feel the arms pressing the floor away. And reverse the circle. Walking the feet forwards into a crouching position. If it feels comfortable, bring your hands to your heart center, opening your knees with your elbows, lengthening through the spine, and come to sitting on the mat. Come to a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Hands on the knees, lengthening the crown of the head up to the ceiling. I'm going to circle the torso to one direction. Feel how the breath flows in and out. And circling in the other direction. Reach your arms up, clasp your fingers and stretch up, lengthening both sides of the body. And take a side bend towards the right, opening the left side of your ribs. And lengthening up towards the left. The hips are stable. And all the way up. One more time. Reaching, opening the left side of the ribs, allowing the left sit bones to tilt up, and then bring it back down to the floor. Again, tilting as if we're tipping the scales, and then balancing the scales to come up. And so we start stretching and the scales are evenly balanced, and then tipping the scales, letting the right hip lift up and then lengthening it all the way back down. Tipping and evening the balance, reaching up. Relax over for a second. And coming up, we're going to change the legs and change the habitual cross of the fingers. Again, stretching them up. I'm going to rotate, bringing your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you. Just find a comfortable position for your neck and focus your gaze. And then taking your gaze over towards the right shoulder, find another place where you can just gaze. And again, taking your head towards the left shoulder, finding a place to focus your eyes, and over to the right, maybe a different place. One more time, rotating. And then taking it all the way, lengthen your right arm up and take your ear towards your knee, as if we're listening to what the knee has to say. And coming back, let's take that to the other side. Right hand towards your left knee. Finding a comfortable place for your neck. Focus your gaze. Take your head back towards your left shoulder. See what you see on that side of the room. And again, rotate your head. Find a different place perhaps to look at. And taking it back. Keep lengthening out through the top of your head. One last time, just rotating your head. And then rotate it back one last time. Lengthen your left arm up. Reach your right ear towards your right knee. And release over. Let the weight of the head drop over. Bring your feet to the floor, hold on to your knees, and we're going to round the spine. You hang back on your hands, draw your navel in towards your spine, and use your arms to help you lengthen the spine and lift in the chest. Roll back again. This time lift your right foot off the floor and rotate to look over your right shoulder and place your foot back down and to the left. So drawing the navel before you rotate and to the right. One more time to the left. Place both feet down, stretching the arms forward and slowly roll back to lying on your back. Bring your feet underneath your knees. So imagine your hips and scales, and one side of the scales becomes heavy, so the other side floats up. Rotating your hips gently from right to left, with a rocking motion of the hips forwards and backwards, noticing how that affects the rest of the vertebra of your spine. And we'll take that into a pelvic bowl, as if your hips are a bowl that's half full of water and you're swishing the water around in one direction and then swishing it around in the other direction. And curling the hips up, continue peeling one vertebra at a time. Inhale as you exhale, soften the chest to come all the way down. reaching your arms back behind you. And again, I'm going to rotate the hips. One side drops down, the other side lifts up. Coming all the way back down. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart, and open your arms so that they're in a cactus position, and then placing your hands behind your head. You're going to bring your right elbow towards your right knee so that the left side of your rib cage opens. And focus on breathing more into the left side of the ribs, and then take the left shoulder, left elbow towards the left knee, opening the right side. With each in-breath, opening the lungs on the right side, opening the rib cage on the right side. Coming back to center, bringing your feet to the floor. Take a chest lift, feel the chest softening, becoming heavy as the head floats up. Releasing down. And again, soften, let the chest become heavy so the head can float up. You're going to start circling the head around. And then you can take the circles as small or as large as feels right for you. In one direction. And in the other direction. Let both knees fall to the right, reaching your left knee away from your left shoulder, using your center to bring your legs back, and then drop them to the left so the right knee reaches away from the right shoulder. And again, both legs drop over to the right. And as you come back, come up into a chest lift. Taking the knees to the left as you open the chest, and then everything comes back to center, draws in. Everything opens as you inhale, and as you exhale, everything centers. Open to the left, and coming back to center. This time the legs are going to stay to the right. You might want to bring them a bit closer towards you. And coming up, so you're aiming the sternum towards the highest part of your hips. Opening your legs, taking them to the other side. And again, coming up to a chest lift. And opening your legs to bring your knees together. We're going to roll ourselves up into a sitting position. Stretching the legs out, reaching the arms forwards. Bring the back of your hands together and press them towards each other for a half roll back. Shoulders down away from the ears. Draw your navel in. And then outwardly rotate your arms and reach your fingertips forwards. And again, pressing the backs of your hands together, rolling back halfway, even a little bit more, and then coming forwards, reaching forwards, palms face up. Going to go all the way down, reach the arms back and take a huge circle to the sides of your body. Coming up, reaching your arms forwards. And again, rotate, press the backs of your hands together, reach the fingers forwards and then take them back, circling the arms to the sides and stretching over, reach. One more time, rolling back and bring your right knee towards your chest. circling the leg in the hip socket. You can stabilize with your left hand on the left side of your hip, creating round, smooth movement, oiling the joints. Bring the leg to 90 degree angle. I'm going to play with internally and externally rotating the leg, and using the arms to squeeze a little bit more range of motion into the movement. Out and in, and then stretching the leg up, bringing your head and shoulders up off the mat. Bring your hands behind your head, lengthen, and opening your shoulders. Cross the leg towards the left until the hip wants to come up, and then opening it to the right, trying to stabilize the hip. And a little bit more, maybe this time the hip will come up a little bit, and opening it to the right. And again, reaching, stretching the side of the leg, outside, the lateral side of the leg, and the inside of the leg. Bring your arms to the floor for more stability, or keep them behind your head if you want more challenge, and leg circles using that range of motion we've just explored. And to the other side. Clasp your hands behind your right knee and use the leg to help you rock and roll up to a seated position, stretching your leg out. Your left hand comes on the outside of your right foot, rotating around, opening your chest. Bring your foot over your knee, bring your knee towards your left shoulder. And if you want a little bit more twist, bring your elbow in, continue spiraling around. Going to cross the right foot over the left for a spine twist variation. Twist, twist, lengthening up. One more time, twist, twist, lengthen, bringing your arms. You're going to roll down with your legs in this crossed position. Other side. Use your right hand to help stabilize the hip, and your left hand to create smooth circular movement, lubricating the joint. And then bringing your leg to a 90 degree angle to play with the internal and external rotation of the leg in the hip socket. Reaching the leg up, lifting your head and shoulders. Your hands behind your head, opening your chest. Take your leg towards the right until you feel a stretch on the left outside side and inside. Each time we'll try and find a little bit more range of motion. Lengthening the leg to the left. One more time, cross it over to the right. Stretch the outside of your leg. And then opening it. Bring your leg back to center if you want stability, more stability. Use your hands for leg circles. One direction. And the other direction. Try and find the stability in your right hip. Bending your knee, clasping your hands behind your left knee. You can use the fact that the leg's pulling away to help you come up to a sitting position. Stretch your left hand, put your right hand on the side. It can be your foot or your ankle. Rotate around. And bringing your right elbow to your knee. If you want a little extra twist, use your elbow to press against it as you keep lengthening the top of your head up. Left foot crosses over the right foot, spine twist variation. Lengthening up as you twist. One more time, twist. Bringing your hands forwards, roll back. And bring your left foot towards the floor. Stretch your arms back. Press your left foot into the floor. Reach your left knee forwards. And as you do that, let your left side of your hip lift up as the right side drops down. Press the foot into the floor. Reach the fingertips away so you really open the whole left side of your body. Coming down, hands behind your head. Bring your right shoulder towards your knee and reach your fingertips beyond your knee to stretch. Try and keep the right side of your hips dropping down. Reach your fingertips away, float your left knee, press your knee against your arm. And changing sides, so press your right foot into the floor, right knee comes forward, right hip lifts up as the left side draws down. And again, rolling the right side up, stretch your fingertips in the opposite direction and back down. Reaching, opening the right side of the body and dropping the right hip down. Reach your left fingertips beyond your knee and stretch. Reaching far beyond, as far beyond your knee as you can. And float your knee up. Press, lift the other leg up. And we're going to change. Press, change. So it's crisscross variation. Press and press. Shift your hips to the right and take both legs over to the left all the way to the floor. You're going to circle the right arm around, allowing the head to roll from side to side, opening the chest, softening the body into the floor. Change the direction of the circle. We're going clockwise now. Take your hips to the left and bring your legs over to the right side. And the left arm, draw a circle clockwise on the floor, allowing the arm to be heavy. Release into the floor and the head to relax and roll from side to side. Bring your hips back and take your knees up to a tabletop position for side to side. From the right to the left. Keep your knees to the right and take them towards your right shoulder and back to center, and then to the left, bringing them towards the left shoulder and back to center. Again, tilting your hips towards your right shoulder and towards your left shoulder. Now we'll take the knees away from the same shoulder. So side to side, going right and then taking the knees away from the shoulder in the opposite diagonal. Stretching out the right side of the back and reaching up. We're going to take a corkscrew variation. So we're spiraling, starting off with a small circle. Each time making it a little bit bigger, reaching your toes in a big spiral. Then changing, starting off small, each time trying to make the circle a little bit bigger. Remembering the pelvic bowl we did earlier in the class. That's what the hips are doing. The toes are reaching away from your body. Bring your knees towards your chest. And from here we'll take a funky sort of teaser. So rather than coming up straight, we're going to find all sorts of different ways of coming up. And going back down from the side, using your arms, using your legs. Just play with that. Until finally we're going to find a sitting position for a classic teaser. Reach your toes, reach your fingers, open your chest, and open your legs to prepare for a saw. So in this variation, we're going to rotate the right arm and keep it rotating until it reaches towards your back thigh, left thigh, stretching your left fingers towards your right toes. And then left arm wraps around towards your right thigh, and right hand reaches forwards, stretching out and coming back. Again, rotating the right arm, sweeping it back. It's helping stabilize the left hip. Last time, the left arm rotates and sweeps towards your right leg, right thigh, in the direction of your right thigh. Might not actually get there. And a little bit more dynamic. Down and up. Down, breathing and lengthening through the spine. Open. Open for another variation of the saw. Back, stretching the leg away and up. Reach the chest forward as you reach the leg to a long diagonal and opening. And again, like a modified saw, a combination of a saw with swan dive. And we'll come to lying on our side. So again, we're playing with internally and externally rotating the leg in the hip socket, keeping the hips still, the spine long. Trying to find as much range of motion as possible. Bring the leg parallel to the floor, flexion and extension. Bring the leg forwards and then all the way around to rotation. So going back and forwards. Keep going back and then rotate it around all the way to the back. Forwards and back. Forwards, just make a huge circle all the way around. And again back and front from the back, rotating around. One last time, forwards and back. Circle all the way. And back and forwards and circling all the way back. Take your ankle in your hand and stretch it back so you really open the whole front of the thigh, and then bring the foot forward, spiraling, opening your chest. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, soften into the floor. From here we're going to transition into a mermaid, starting off with a rotation of the arm and then taking the leg all the way around and stretching towards the right. We're going to prepare for a side kick variation. Reach the leg back and the arm forwards and then kick. As the leg comes forward, the arm reaches back. Coming back, stretch your left arm, and then we're coming back. This time I'm going to rotate, circle the right arm all the way as far forward, and then taking it back into the space behind your body. And exploring that space behind your body. And from here we're going to thread the needle, thread the left hand through the space. Try and bring your elbows together as your hips keep rotating to the front. One more time, a mermaid, bringing your knees together. And we'll take a side bend as a transition. So lengthening both sides of the body to come to a plank. And from here we're going to lower down to the floor. Bring your right cheek to the mat. Arms are in goalpost position. You're going to press your forearms into the floor, open the chest to lift and look up, and then rotate and place your left cheek on the mat. And again, pressing down to lift up, sort of as babies do when they're beginning to learn to lift their neck. So pressing down, become curious about the world in front of you, and then relax down. One more time, pressing your arms down, opening your chest. This time, we'll take our arms, clasp them behind our back and bring them close towards shoulder blades, elbows towards the floor for a double leg kick preparation. So opening your chest and elbows drop down to the floor. Reaching your legs and arms back as if someone's pulling your arms behind you. Each time you're going to bring the right cheek or the left cheek to the floor. One more time, reaching back. Left cheek to the floor, elbows to the floor. Staying there to open, lengthening. It's like a propeller. When children play being aeroplanes, they're taking extension with side bend from side to side and taking that to the other side. So again, we're playing with internally and externally rotating the leg in the hip socket. Trying to squeeze as much movement as possible in there. The leg comes parallel to the floor, bringing it forwards and back, and then forward into a big circle all the way around to the front. Back and front, from the back circling all the way around to the back. And front, back, front, circle it around, back, front, from the back circling, one more time forwards, back, big circle, last time, back, and again taking hold of the ankle to open the front, that part of the thigh, bringing the foot towards the hand and opening the right hand. Let's transition to a mermaid. So we start with circling the right arm, circling the right leg, and taking a side bend towards the right. Side kick variation. Foot comes forward as arm comes back, lengthening through the spine. and rooting down through your forearm into the mat. Again, bending to the right and circling the right arm now all the way back into the space behind your body and all the way forward. Again, back. Thread the needle, bringing the elbows towards each other and the hips want to rotate towards the opposite wall. Mermaid with the knees together and transition through a side bend, lengthening both sides of your body to a plank and coming back to lying on the floor. Right cheek on the mat, stretch your left leg in a long diagonal behind you, and as the leg comes back down, opening the chest to lift up, change your head to the other side so the right leg reaches in a long diagonal. Hips come back to center, the leg comes down, chest lifts up like a seesaw. Pressing down with your arms to let your upper body float up. Hips rotate and come to center. Bringing one hand underneath your armpit, the other hand forward so that you're going to extend and rotate, and coming down. So this time the hips stay in place and it's the shoulders that do the rotation. Looking over your left shoulder if you're swimming front crawl. First lengthening into extension and then taking it into rotation. Looking over your left shoulder. Change the arms, so coming up and opening, looking towards your right shoulder. Lengthening first and then rotating, using the arms to help you to rotate your shoulders and the hips. Stay neutral. Rotating, opening, lengthening. Coming up through a swan, rounding the spine into a rest position. Reaching your arms forwards, then rounding through, round back. Lift your navel, keep lifting as your hips drop towards the floor, and you're opening your chest. Look towards your left shoulder, towards your right shoulder. Coming back, opening the chest and rounding. With the tailbone and the crown of the head want to come closer to each other. And again, rounding through the spine, opening the whole front of the body. Press down with your hands as you lift your chest and try circling your head to one side and to the other side. Just play with what feels right here. Rounding all the way back, bring your tailbone back. Coming to all fours, rounding and arching the spine and taking it to the side, right side, and to the left side. We're going to join the dots up, side, down, to the other side. You're describing circles not only with your ribs but with your hips, and allow the head to react in a circular motion. And reverse. Circular motion for head, hips and ribs. Coming to a rest position. And from here, I'm going to come into the forearms, lift the right leg up and circle the right leg in the hip socket. And reverse. And lift the leg, open the right side of the hip, reach the toes towards the floor on the left side, and then left leg floats up. So as you rotate the leg in the hip socket, press the forearms into the mat. Try and stabilize your shoulders. Lifting in your center. Lift the left leg up, open the left hip, reach your left toes towards the floor. Tuck your toes under and come to triangle pose. Sweep your right leg up, again opening the right side of the hips, pressing evenly with the right and left hand into the floor, stretching the leg up to come down, and then to the other side, opening the hips, knee up to the sky, foot towards the floor, stretching it out and coming back down. Walk your hands back towards your feet, rolling up. As you inhale, open your chest, arms float up and then back down. Allow the arms to drop, the top of your head to release over, keeping your stomach high, and again walking your hands forwards. Stretching your right leg up, bending your knee, really opening through the hips. This time bringing your knee towards your left shoulder, opening it up and bringing it forwards towards your right shoulder. Coming back up to change. Left leg floats back, opens, and square the hips, bring the leg towards the right shoulder and towards the left shoulder. And walking your hands back towards your feet, relax over and rolling up one vertebra after another, reaching your arms up. We'll take one more variation. So again, walking yourself forwards, stretching your right leg back, opening, and keep reaching the foot towards the floor. Keep reaching until it actually touches the floor, and then press yourself back up, stretch your leg up. And left leg floats up, reach the toes towards the floor, and then eventually you'll get there. And bring yourself back. One more time. Opening the hips, just allowing the weight of the foot to drop, giving into gravity and then defying gravity to come up. This time opening your hip, foot reaches, 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 and it touches. And reaching up. And again, walking yourself, hands back towards your feet, rolling all the way up to a long spine. Swinging the arms forwards and back, feeling the momentum. And then describe a full circle in one direction. A few swings, and eventually we'll make a circle in the other direction. Left hand. Let it drop, drop and catch, drop, and full circle, and drop. How gravity affects your arm, and circling, both arms together. Without thinking too much about it, see if you can take both hands into a circle. circling, swing and circle. Just again play with it, circling. Press your feet into the floor, feel the arms floating, your chest expanding. Bring your hands, palms to touch, and again bring your hands to your sternum. Listen to the rhythm of your breath. Listen to the rhythm of your heart.